Welcome to the Alaska Family Connection. My name's Hunter Mizar. I get the privilege of being District Superintendent of the Alaska Nazarene District, and I'm in Sitka. And I got to tell you, it's been one of those things I'm really excited about because I grew up in Alaska, as many people knew, but I was blogging all summer long, and everyone that I was reading blogs about said one of the number one places to go to is Sitka. And so I'm here with the longest tenured pastor on our district, Chuck Haskins, here in Sitka. 26 years, right, that you've been here?
Be 27 in April.
Whew, that's amazing. That is amazing. So, Chuck, tell us about how did you first get this calling into ministry? I mean, did you always sense that, or what did you want to do growing up? How did this calling of being a pastor come about?
Yeah, so I didn't grow up in the church.
Okay.
I was saved at 17 years of age. Married young, and wanted to be in business with my father. He is a businessman, small businessman,
okay,
in the auto industry.
Oh.
And so I worked with him, and we were working in that industry. I was attending a Nazarene church in Cortez, Colorado,
okay,
and they would have an annual family camp meeting, just old-fashioned tent thing that they did with the Four Corners churches. So it'd be Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona.
Okay.
And we met with those Four Corners churches in a place called Dolores, Colorado, at a camp called Circle K Campground. And beautiful in the Rockies there, you know. And during the message, it was a DS speaking, Dr. Jim Deal. And
I think one of the best preachers we've ever had.
Yeah.
I could listen to that guy preach all day. Yeah.
So he was talking about holiness, of course.
Of course.
And I felt like the Lord was asking me to just go forward and commit my life to Him, which I thought, okay, you know, I mean, I'd asked Him into my heart, but this is the point where you just, you know, fully consecrate myself to Him.
Yeah.
So I went forward, and in the conversation with the Lord, He laid on my heart, would you do anything? And my response, of course, was, Lord, yes, I'll do anything.
Wow.
Now, this is a still quiet voice. This isn't audible or anything. It's just what He's laying on my heart. And I said, yeah, Lord, I'll do it. Would you preach? And honestly, I thought it was a test, you know. And I said, yeah, I'll preach. And He said, well, then prepare yourself.
Wow. Yeah.
And so from that point was all about, how do I do that?
Yeah.
So
What did your parents think? Did you tell them, hey, this is kind of what I feel like I need to do with my life? I mean, how did they respond?
So that's a really interesting question. My parents weren't Christians.
Yeah.
So I went to my dad's business, and I said, I need to talk to you. And he said, yeah, okay, come on. And so we sat down. I said, I believe I'm called to preach.
Wow.
And I said, and I think I need to go get ready for that. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm working at it.
Yeah.
And his response was, I felt like that.
Really?
So it was almost like, here's somebody from the outside even acknowledging.
Yeah.
You said, I just felt like that you were going in that direction.
Was that a confirmation then in your own heart?
Kind of a little bit, you know. I mean, from a non-Christian father,
our parents a lot of times, and,
right? And he was trying to set me up in this business world.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I don't think I can go that direction. Yeah. He was heartbroken on that part. I mean, he really was. But I felt like he was encouraging me to do what I felt like I needed to do. He wasn't going to get my way.
Yeah.
So then we explored that and ended up in NNC at the time, now NNU. Graduated from there and just been enjoying the ride ever since.
And so you were at the Bethel Church in Nampa.
Yeah.
You were working as a youth pastor.
Yeah.
And that was a great assignment for you. I mean, things were going well, and the church was really growing.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah. It was a great time working with Roy Litzy and his wife, Corleen. I loved them dearly.
How many years were you at Bethel?
So full-time 7.5, or close to 8.
Yeah.
And but I worked there while I was in college also.
Okay.
And they asked me to work with their youth while I was in school. And then when I graduated, they asked me to stay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was about 8 years.
But you kind of reached this point where you just knew it's time to lead a church, to take the reins of one.
Right. So Roy was a great mentor, and he sensed that too.
Yeah.
And so he was a great encourager in that. It just so happened he passed away in the midst of all of that. He had a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
And ended up dying of that.
Okay.
And so that really shook us a little bit, you know. But he was very encouraging.
It's kind of interesting in the Church of the Nazarene, if the senior pastor leaves, I mean, staff really are kind of vulnerable. Because, I mean, the way we're set up is
very vulnerable.
Once the pastor's gone, there's a complete change. I mean, they could bring him back. They could hire him back, but...
Right. But I also knew I was called to preach.
Yeah. So
the district superintendent at the time encouraged me to put together my resume, which I already had, and but he just encouraged me to get it out, and so I did. And shortly after that, Reverend Larry White gives me a phone call and says, "I received your resume, and I think I have a church that would be a great fit for you."
Yeah.
And and we proceeded. And then
but there's a story with your wife, right?
Yeah, there is.
I mean, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, she tells it a little different than I might. So, so when I put together my resume, there was some districts that I felt comfortable sending it to.
Right.
But I didn't want to tell my wife where we had to live or what we had. So I gave her all those resumes. I said, any place that you would feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Don't mail it. And one of them was Alaska, and she held that in her purse for a few weeks before the Lord checked her on that. And she could tell you that story better, but she put it in the mail, and shortly thereafter, Reverend White says, "I just received your resume," and I thought that was interesting since I handed them to her weeks before. Either the mail is really slow in Alaska, or she held on to it, but she held on to it. She admitted to that.
Yeah.
So, but and then we, like I say, we found ourselves up here in Sitka, and we have enjoyed it.
It's kind of a different world, though, and we're only talking about 2000. But it wasn't like you could go see the church service online.
No.
And it wasn't like you could do a Zoom interview with the board. I mean, you said yes even before you came to Sitka. Is that right?
That's correct. We had a phone interview.
Well, that's a leap of faith.
Had a phone interview and prayed about it. You know, I mean, we did, and felt very comfortable with it. I just felt like, I've always prayed in the whole process, because again, I think I said, I thought when the Lord said, "Would you preach?" I thought it was a test.
Yeah.
And even going through the process, I thought every once in a while, maybe, it's still just a test,
Yeah.
So I always prayed, "Lord, if this is your will, open the doors. And if it's not, close them, and I'll accept that. I just want to be in the center of your will."
Yeah.
And when this door opened, we prayed about that and just felt like this is the right thing to do. And we just, again, felt very much at peace with what God was laying on our hearts, saying, "I'll take care of you. You'll be fine."
Yeah.
And we were.
Yeah.
We were just fine. But,
I don't know if there's preparation that you can do. I don't think people understand. There's churches in Alaska that you can drive to,
right.
But there are churches that literally the only way you're getting there is by ferry or by plane. And I mean, you're on an island, isolated. And so, I mean, despite the vastness of Alaska and the temperature things, I really think for our 6 churches that you can only get to by plane or ferry, there's got to be some isolation. I mean, there's some real challenges, I think, of feeling like I'm kind of a lone man on an island. I mean, were you prepared for that kind of mentality? Because it takes a different person to be able to do that, I think.
Yeah, I do. I agree. It does not. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And I had some good friends. I felt like I was only a phone call away, and often use that.
Yeah.
Just as sounding board or just to kind of vent sometimes. Yeah. And they were very good at saying, "Yeah, call," and they called me too. They didn't wait for my phone call all the time, and they called me. And, I'd say Reverend Larry White, the district superintendent at the time, was very concerned for us, and always kept in touch. You know, and then made sure that when we were in Anchorage, that we were taken care of in Anchorage. You know, he just wanted to build that relationship. He's good at that, and so it made it easier that first few years. Yeah. That we all transition, right? When we go to a new place, it's just a transition, and he tried to make that easy. And then the people at Sitka are amazing people. They just really are, and they made us feel at home. Yeah. Felt like. Very short time, felt like we knew him very well. And that was nice. That was very nice.
Did you have in mind you could go this long? I mean, did you think in your head, probably be there 5, maybe 10 years, but there's no way you could have imagined you'd spend basically your whole career here.
Right. Yeah, it spent a lot of time here, Yeah. No, I couldn't imagine. I didn't imagine that. Yeah. I felt like, most pastors' tenure is much shorter. Yeah. And so I felt like I'd probably be an average, 5, 6, 7 years and move to somewhere else and probably do that. I felt like that was probably the way life would be. I also felt, though, I was very at home when I was here. And so I never felt a release, I've had people ask and just say, I would certainly pray about whatever, but I don't feel like I've been released from this responsibility. Yeah. And love it here, love the people. Yeah. Now my family has grown and they're starting families of their own. And my oldest son lives here with his son, so it's a family situation that I just enjoy so much. Yeah.
Sitka's kind of a unique place in that I'm amazed how many people from the lower 48s have never been to Anchorage necessarily, but they've been to Juneau and Ketchikan and Sitka. So you're kind of on the cruise rotation, right? And I think you're telling me something like, is it 1 million?
Yeah, I think that's close to right. Is that they were close to 1 million visitors last year? Yeah,
and they don't stay overnight necessarily. I mean, you're talking about 6 to 8 hours to dock, and they're here. Yeah, sometimes longer. But they get here in the morning and spend their day in Sitka and get back on the ship and go to their next destination. And we don't see them long. And really, if you're not in the locations that they're going, other than they may visit the church because they're Nazarenes from somewhere else. Not necessarily be in the crowd of them that often, although the church is close to downtown. So, I mean, describe to people, because a lot of people have never been to Sitka, what makes just the community of Sitka unique? I mean, obviously there's a big fishing demographic, commercial fishing. Right. But, I mean, tell us a little bit about Sitka's demographic and who they are.
Yeah, so it's getting older. the medium age is growing. So our students in the school system, our student body's decreasing. And I think that's true of much of Southeast Alaska.
Yeah.
It used to be that we had a paper pulp mill in Sitka,
Okay.
and so there was, a lot of blue collar work. That's changed considerably. There is still fishing and there's still blue collar work, but a lot of other jobs have come in. Our hospital is a federal hospital and regional hospital.
Okay.
And so and they're building a new building for that, and a lot of hiring there. We've seen a lot of people come in, doctors, nurses, staff of a hospital. We have a large Coast Guard station here. We have a buoy tender and also an air station. So I think that number is somewhere up near 400. What we call coasties,
Yeah.
And
So, like in the off season, how many people live on the island of Sitka?
about 8,500 is what the census says.
Yeah.
So it's not too small.
No.
We have
Yeah.
we have everything we need. So
So the question is, how much rain do you get a year? Because you're part of the largest rainforest,
Right,
and
right.
it's just everything's green. But
yeah,
in order for it to be green, it means it
Right.
rains a lot.
I think I haven't looked at this statistic for a long time. So, but I'm thinking I remember somewhere in the 80 to 90 inches of precipitation a year.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking it was, but I could be off base a little bit there. But it's a lot.
but you don't get
The
like
rain-
super cold here, right? You're not going to get below zero necessarily.
No. Very rarely see single digit stuff. Most every year we'll get it, below freezing at some point, and the lake freezes over, and the kids go ice skating or whatever. But it doesn't last very long, and sometimes it happens multiple times through the winter. Where it freezes, ice skate, thaw, stay off of it, that kind of thing. But so the temperature does fluctuate. But it's moderate. It's very moderate.
So you're one of the oldest churches on the district.
Okay.
It started in the 50s.
Yeah, 56, I believe.
And so you're 70 years old.
Yeah.
I was looking up. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What would you say makes Sitka Nazarene unique?
Oh, well, of course the people, but we have some special ministries because we're on an island, of course. And we have one of the state boarding schools is on our island. And so we have opportunity to minister to high school students from around the state that come here and live on our island and go to high school and at a boarding school. And so we have ministered to those kids since I've been here. That ministry has gone on way before I came, and just happy to keep that rolling. And so that's a very special ministry to us, and what an opportunity to reach so much of our state for Jesus that maybe very few places have that kind of opportunity.
Sure.
And we get it.
Yeah.
With young people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And there's been kind of a resurgence of youth, I feel like, because you brought on Pastor Kelby.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit. Some people know the Kinneys because they've been on the district a long time, but tell us a little bit about him joining you and what that looks like.
Yeah, so we were in search of a family life minister, someone to specifically help in the area of teens and youth, children. And so in that search, Kelby was brought to my attention that he was graduated and that he was down in Nampa volunteering. And so
he grew up in the Eagle River Church.
Yeah.
His mom's Nancy,
Nancy
and Chris'
dad. Yeah, and so thought, wow, I didn't know if he would want to. He said, oh, I'll certainly pray about it.
Uh-huh.
He and his wife prayed about it, and we interviewed them and brought them up to just see the place and see what they
because he'd never been to Sitka, even though he was born and raised
right.
here too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we brought him and RJ up, and we got to know them over a weekend, and the board was very comfortable in extending them an invitation, and so they've been here. They came in November of 2024.
Okay.
And so they've wrapped up a little over a year now, and very pleased with the Cannies. Very excited about what they're doing.
Sure.
And he's jumped in with both feet.
Yeah. And we've seen some kids from Sitka at youth camp this last summer, which is awesome. Some are going to NYC, and I know some are going to go to the winter retreat coming up.
Right.
I mean, that's great.
Yeah, and really excited about all of that because some of those are my grandkids.
Yeah, sure.
And when they're getting excited about a relationship with Jesus, I get excited too.
Absolutely.
So, it's been great.
So, 26 years. So I got to go to your grandson's basketball game tonight.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was with a celebrity because we walk in, everyone knows Chuck, everyone has seen you around. I mean, you have embraced the community of Sitka. Sitka has embraced you. What would you say are maybe a few things that have just been key to just really longevity for 26 years? Most pastors will never experience that, but what would you say is kind of the secret? How do you do that?
I don't know. I don't know that there's a secret other than...
Because there certainly had to have been times that it was tough.
Certainly.
And times that you were like, I think maybe it'd just be easier to send my resume out. And here you just faithfully served.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a few times I wanted to be a mechanic again. I think that's pretty normal in the ministry or even any occupation that you start questioning, this is still for me. I never felt a release. I've never felt, I've always said, Lord, if this isn't where you want me to be, you let me know, and I want to be obedient. And I've always said, if the people don't want me, I certainly don't want to be a hindrance to people. And so I've always felt welcome, and I would say that over the years, I honestly can't remember major crises in the church. I felt like we were family, working together, working through whatever it was that we had to work through, and didn't ever feel like that we weren't family. I just always felt like we were, and just trying to work together through whatever maybe. Again, if it was a problem or whatever the issue was. And I felt like we did that well together. Yeah. And that says a lot about the people.
Sure.
It says a lot about the people that I've worked with.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be, you've seen kids grow up.
Yeah.
That now become adults and leaders. I mean, I'm sure you've, done weddings and dedications and baptisms, but there's also, I would guess, some funerals you've had to do.
Sure.
I mean, it's just amazing that when I think about the life cycle you've probably seen and the dynamic changes after that long and that you've been consistent in it all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the church has changed several times really, with, what the age group of people that we're dealing with and, and there's some ebbs and flows to all of that. But really, I'm excited about where it is today. As a pastor, your goal is, if I ever have to leave this place, I want to leave it in a lot better shape than I found it. Not to say it was in bad shape when I got it, but I just want it to be better. And I feel like our congregation has gotten younger. We've seen some transformations. The buildings, again, kudos to the team, right? But the building's in better shape, and it just they work hard at some things to make it nicer. So I feel like, if I had to leave today, I'd feel like we're leaving it in a good place, and I like that. That's a good feeling. Because I'm not getting younger.
And I've just seen that it feels like you haven't grown complacent. I mean, you still have a passion for the church. You still have a passion for ministry.
Yeah.
And it'd be easy, I think, just to kind of phone it in at this point. And yet you've still just said, what do we need to keep doing? How do we need to keep moving forward?
Well, and I think you're right. I think, you have to have some self-motivation in ministry, period.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Period. I tell Kelby that, self-motivation, you got to be able to move it. And so it is easy to, like you say, you preached enough, and you have to, I know, that you could put together a sermon in a couple hours if you needed to. And sometimes you have to, depending on what the circumstances. But the idea of wanting to see more people come to know Jesus Christ, that is really a gift I received that I feel like I am obligated to pass on. Mm-hmm. Obligated, I owe the people that shared the gift with me. I owe the gift himself. The same thing, to pass it on.
So there might be some people that watch this video, and as Sitka comes to their mind, is there one or two things that you say, hey, if you pray with us about that, what are some ways that maybe the district family could pray for the Sitka church or for you?
Yeah, so, I mean, we all have people we love that are away from the Lord, and I recognize that. But there's a couple of people on the top of my prayer list, and so as I look for opportunity to minister to those people, and to do it in a way that glorifies Christ, that's important to me. So that the ministry itself, I have a compassion, literally for the young people. Someone once said, and I'm trying to remember exactly how they said it, but every generation deserves a mighty outpouring of God's Holy Spirit. And I'm looking at a generation that I don't think has got to see that, at least in Sitka. And I pray that happens, that they get to see a mighty outpouring of God's Spirit. I've got to see that. Maybe you have. And there's just nothing that compares to that. There's nothing. And I would really love for my kids, my grandkids, to get to see that. So if there's a prayer, that would be it. That they would get to see a mighty outpouring of God's Spirit upon our community, maybe our church, however God wants it to look is fine with me. But I'd really like to then get to be a part of that.
Well, I just have really gotten to enjoy getting to know you. I see your heart for ministry. It's always been an encouragement to me. You're very sensitive, I think, to the needs around you and just caring about others. And you've not only served this church well, but, I mean, you're on the district advisory board and you help that. You're on the board of ministry and you help us work with ministers. I mean, you just went on a mission trip this last fall. And so you're very much involved in the district, too. And I've just really appreciated your leadership. And I'm just excited about what God's doing in Sitka and how he's continuing to bless your ministry. And I hope perhaps there's a young pastor that might be watching this and go, there's something we said for longevity in a church. There's something about not wanting to be somewhere else where the grass is greener, but really blooming right where they're planted,
I think, I think it was Dr. Cunningham that said, is the church you're in going to be the next big church you pastor? I think we should be content with the ministry that the Lord has placed in front of us, and feel honored
Yeah.
that He would call us to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an honor. I don't care where it is. That's an
Absolutely.
honor to get to be called to represent Him in any way.
Yeah.
In any way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should just enjoy that and bask in whatever presence.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for what you're doing.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. We're going to see you real soon.